And these are illustrative. You can draw 100 lessons. And in fact, it may be a very good exercise for the next batch to let them choose dance or sport or music, depending on their inclinations, and see what lessons we can learn, because you would have sent away students from here with that permanent teacher with them, because they've done a project or something on it. The fourth and the last lesson from sport that I will draw is about luck. Sports is full of lovely examples about luck. And nobody knows whether that is good luck or bad luck, because both happen. For example, in a game of cricket. There's a very fine English cricketer, Ed Smith, who's written a book about luck. He gave a presentation at the London School of Economics just 3 months ago. And if you all are interested, young people particularly, I would advocate that you get hold of a copy or read it on the net. In 1859, there was a Scotsman who wrote a book. His name was Samuel Smiles. And the name of the book he wrote was Self-Help. It's probably one of the world's best sellers since then. To be on a bestseller for 150 years is not easy. Samuel Smiles set this tradition which has captivated American psyche to say your future is in your hands. Reach out and grasp it. Everything that you achieve is because of yourself, not because of somebody else. Subsequent to that, there have been many others. We've had Dale Carnegie, we've got our own Robin Sharma, and very recently we've had Stephen Covey. They are absolutely right. And if you forget this, it will be at your own peril. You have to seize your own future. But having done everything that you can, there is something else left. And that last part, which is, I call luck. So the opposite is also true, that you may do everything right and still not get what you want. That produces its own share of disappointments. So the absence of the luck factor can become very confusing. Napoleon said he wanted competent generals, but above all he wanted lucky generals. This word luck has a sense of joy, a sense of accomplishment. But there are two kinds of luck. There is the luck which you have prepared for and earned. And that is what preparation and working for it is. And the Samuel Smiles kind of luck. This cause and effect. You study hard, you work loyally to your company, etc., etc. I call this good luck. Okay? We all strive for good luck and we can work for good luck. In Indian philosophy, we call this good luck the task of a karma yogi. Do your best and don't worry about the result. The former is easy to do, the latter is more difficult to do. But there's another kind of luck which you should think about. It's called unearned luck. You're not sure why you got it, but you got it. Your genes are your luck. You didn't choose your parents. They haven't still figured out that you can. Winning a lottery is luck. It's completely random, statistical, stochastic. You can't replicate it. Yesterday you saw Saina Nehwal winning a bronze. Unearned luck. Even her father says in Hyderabad, the Lord of Tirupati to whom I have been praying and been offering inducements must have desired that she win it. So he injured the other girl. Mr. Nehwal has actually said this, and he's absolutely right. One of my most touching experiences from my college days that has stayed emblazoned in my head. I was in a flush of great joy and excitement because I stood for some election of a student body and I won the election. And one of my classmates, who's academically far smarter than I, came to my room, and I thought he would say, like everybody else, "Hey Gopal, well done, fantastic." But he sat down and he said, "Well, you won the election. What's the difference between you and me? I could not stand for election and I couldn't win it. What's the difference between you and me?" So I was taken aback. And then he went on in a torrent of words, the essence of which was, You're lucky. You come from a stable family. My father is a drunkard. I have an emotional instability at home every evening. So you became vice president, I didn't. And this is going to haunt me all my life. I was quite taken aback. I regret to say 50 years later, that is true. He's in a mental asylum. I still see him. Did I do something to earn what I've got? No. Did he get the unearned bad luck? Yes. So you take these things with the humility that you didn't earn it. Unfortunately, in the corporate world, when your company does very well, you think it's all good luck. You worked for it. And when you haven't posted good results, it's unearned bad luck. I'll tell you the lovely stories. James Watson is credited with having discovered DNA. And he himself says, I had unearned luck. Because Linus Pauling and another Austrian scientist called Khargaf were on a ship and they were almost close to getting the answer of the DNA. But they hated each other. So although they were on a ship returning back, they decided not to talk to each other. And because he didn't exchange, one was a chemist, one was a biochemist. That knowledge did not get shared. And of course, James Watson published his paper